So, this is a topic that I actually have a lot of opinions on because when people think of moving to Thailand or when you see videos of Thailand on social media, you see this highlight reel showing you what kind of budget you can live on in Thailand, these condo tours with all of these amenities, these luxury homes. And while that's all great and fun, and there's nothing wrong with that, I think there's more to living somewhere long term than just knowing how to budget and finding a nice place. Of course, those are important things. You need a place to live. You need to make sure you can afford your cost of living and all of that. But I think one of the biggest things that I honestly don't see a lot of people talk about is a motorcycle driving in Thailand and the risk and just the whole topic in general because we see these videos of how fun it is to drive on a motorbike in Thailand, and it's one of the main modes of transportation for many people that live here. But with that comes risk, and with that comes a lot of other things that people don't talk about. And so, um, while Thailand is great, and while I've been here since 2019, so I love being here. It's home for me now. Not every place is perfect, right? And Thailand is in the top. I want to say last time I looked, we were like number 9 in the world for road death fatality by motorcycles or motorbikes. Um, and so to be in the top 10 in the entire world for motorbike deaths and safety is concerning, but no one ever talks about it. We see these videos of everyone on motorbikes and they're talking about how fun it is and how convenient and how affordable it is. And while, yeah, all those things are true, um, yeah, there's also a side to it that I think a lot of people don't talk about. And so, um, yeah, I obviously have a lot of opinions on this, not just because I was in a motorcycle accident myself, but since I've lived here, I've seen accidents all the time, motorcycle accidents specifically. And I think there's a misconception that it's only foreigners and dumb foreigners are driving in Thailand, but that's not actually it. A lot of the accidents that I have seen are from Thai people as well. So I think it's a mix of both. Obviously, you see a lot of tourists and foreigners that come here and they rent a motorbike because they don't really check for license usually. And then they get in accidents, and that's common too. But yeah, I've seen a lot of accidents with Thai people. In the Chiang Mai news, you see news articles every single day of accidents that happen in Thailand and in Chiang Mai specifically. So, um, yeah, it's just one of those things like, when you live in Thailand, you get accustomed to the ways of life here, and driving a motorcycle and motorbike is a way of life here. But it's interesting because Thai friends that I've talked to, when I've talked to them about motorcycles and cars and, kind of their thoughts on it, they always tell me as soon as someone can afford to buy a car, they will buy a car. I'm talking about Thais. So people that are living here, this is their home. Um, and so I think for me it's really concerning because um I think I've kind of became numb to accidents because I see them so often here, and I don't think I've really talked about that on this channel much, but yeah, I've seen a lot, and they're not just little accidents. I've seen some really bad accidents. And I was talking to my friend actually who's lived here longer than me, but he's a very avid like motorcycle driver, and he was saying it's not if you'll get in an accident when you're driving a motorcycle, it's when. And that's just a reality of it, right? Because there's nothing to protect you really aside from a helmet and if you wear gear. But the majority of people that I see driving out here, for one, don't wear helmets. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people. No one's wearing motorcycle gear either. So um and I always know, like, me and my Thai friends always talk about this. Like, it's always funny when you see someone driving a motorcycle and you see them wearing like a shirt like this with like nothing covering them, or they're wearing like shorts or just like bare skin. Like, Thais would never do that because they want to cover and protect themselves from the sun. But when you're driving like that, if you get in an accident, you're just bare skin. And so I mean, that's besides the point, but I think more people need to talk about the reality of driving a motorcycle here. It's all fun and games and it's hee hee ha ha. Like, it's great when you first move here and you're on this high of like, getting adjusted to life in Thailand, and to drive or ride a motorcycle with risk. And I think people don't talk about that. They don't talk about the downsides of living in Thailand and There's obviously Grab. You don't have to drive a motorcycle, but I think it's really common for people to do it because it's, for one, affordable and convenient. You get through traffic faster, all of those things. But um, yeah, for me, it's just, if you ask me if I recommend it, I mean, I wouldn't say you can never drive a motorcycle or never get on the back of one, but just be aware that there's risks with that. No matter if you go to, the Honda driving school here and you take classes and you drive, and, there's people who have been driving here for 20 years, their whole life, and they still get in an accident. So, um, just because you go and take safety driving classes and, you're safe and you're wearing all your gear and you're a careful driver, you have no control over what other people are doing, or animals, dogs, which is really common to run in the middle of the road here. And so I want to prevent, if I can, from people experiencing what I did with my motorcycle accident. Again, mine, and it's not, I think people think like, oh, you're driving on the highway and like this happened and that. Like, you can be driving to the 7-Eleven down the road and get in an accident. And that's what happened with me. Not in Chiang Mai, but in the islands. I was coming from coffee and a dog bolted in front of my bike. And so, yeah, there's just things that sometimes you can't control. And I think if you're moving to Thailand, again, I always talk about health insurance, but have health insurance, not travel insurance. Like, have legit insurance that can cover you if you get in an accident. And yeah, just be aware that, yeah, these things that can happen, and they're a lot more common than people think. It's an everyday thing that happens in Chiang Mai and in Thailand in general. And even, Grab drivers that are picking you up on the motorcycle, a lot of the times they don't have helmets for you. And a lot of times I've noticed they're very distracted drivers. I will be honest, I've seen drivers on YouTube while they're driving with me on the back, or they've picked me up and maybe, I don't know, there was times where I was like, this driver feels sketchy, like something feels off, and I've asked to get off the bike. So there's things you can do, if you're feeling uncomfortable or it just doesn't, but I think in general, yeah, I'll just say again, like, no matter how many safety driving courses you take, motorcycle, I have my motorcycle license, like, that does not prevent you from getting an accident in Thailand, and that's just kind of the reality of living here. I'm not saying you have to get a car. I'm not saying, again, to never drive a motorcycle, but just be aware and be mindful that that comes with risks, just like anything else. And again, there's other options. You can take Grab Car. You don't have to take a motorbike. I know people say it's more affordable. You're paying like $1 versus $3, but like, for me, I'd rather pay another dollar or two to be safe and to not have peace of mind with, I'm in a car. The other thing though, like, cars are also not exempt from that, like, there have been a lot of car accidents here as well because of the rain and stuff. And so, there's risks with everything, but I think motorcycle driving specifically has just been one of those things that I see a lot of, just people in general, or people sharing content on social media. I guess it's like in this honeymoon phase of like when you first move to Thailand and like everything's exciting and all these things are new and you're getting adjusted to life here. And that's all great. And there's nothing wrong with that. Someone who's been here for 6 years, I think there's also, a reality, another side of Thailand that I think a lot of people don't talk about. And again, like, when you're wanting to live somewhere long term, cost of living, of course, and like budgeting, all those things are important. Finding a condo. But I feel like the internet and social media is so inundated with those things, and there's no shade to anyone that does that. Like, I love watching condo tours. It's really interesting to me, but more to life when you move to a new country and you're wanting to live there long term than just those things. And so I'm hoping this kind of gives that perspective. I hope it doesn't discourage you from coming to Thailand or from experiencing, driving on a motorbike. I mean, I'm not saying to never do it, but I think there's just another side to it that I don't see a lot of people talk about. And so I hope it kind of brings awareness to it. Again, have health insurance, just be mindful that, yeah, driving a motorcycle can be risky. And Thailand is one of the countries that is, on the top 10 of, um, yeah, having really bad fatalities with motorcycles. And so it's just the reality. I mean, I love Thailand. I don't foresee myself leaving anytime soon. I mean, I'm on the DTV now, so I have another 5 years, but um I think it's just one of those things that I wish more people talked about. And so yeah, I hope that was helpful. If you have questions about, moving to Thailand or anything like that, you can always email me. I also do one-on-one calls if that's more helpful to just hop on a call and like ask all your questions. So I'll put the link in the description for that. But if not, I will see you in the next video. Bye.